take writing. I'll share for you the, here is it, the rubric. What is a rubric? We finished the how to write it and everything. Do you hear me? We finished the presentation. I uploaded it for you, how to write a literary analysis, and I told you today I'll show you the rubric. What is a rubric? A rubric is how a teacher corrects a literary essay. Are you with me, girls?
Yes.
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 Here is it. It will not take too much time of us. Here is it. So how I give you a markers, how, and by the way, for all the kinds of rubric, for all kinds of essays, there it has its own rubric. Okay? Here in literary analysis, the one is the lowest mark, 4 is the highest mark. For what? When can I take a 4 marks in the literary analysis? I go to the thesis statement, yani. In the introduction, I start with the what in the introduction, girls? I start with what in introduction? No, the first thing I start in the
hook,
essay.
the hook.
A hook. I grab the eyes of the reader. Then after I grab his eyes, I write a background about it. An author and title name and the work. So hook, author, title, background. Then I write the thesis. Thesis statement is the most important statement in the whole essay. Why? It shows the reader what I will talk about. And it arranges my writing. Yani my body depends on the thesis. The bodies depend on the thesis. So my thesis statement should be clear. So the thesis is thoughtful, clear argument which makes a unique claim about the novel, acknowledges a counterclaim. We said the literary analysis is not an argumentative essay. So it's not important or necessary that the thesis should be arguable. No, you say your opinion. How I say my opinion, teacher? I say, I think. No, do not mention yourself. Never, ever. In any of the writings, except narrative, you mention yourself. Do not mention yourself. Do not talk to the reader. These are the most important 2 rules in writing. Do not mention yourself. Don't talk to the reader. Okay? This you take number 4. You take 4 marks. Which means an excellent thesis statement. What is a very good thesis statement? A very good thesis statement is when your thesis is thoughtful argument that makes an interesting claim. Yani you write an interesting claim in the thesis about the novel. What is a good thesis? That it is an argument that may be unoriginal or too simple. What is a poor thesis statement is not an argument or it is related to my novel. It is not related to my novel. You write a thesis about anything else and so do not take it. Structure of essay. As we've just said, the introduction, in the introduction, a hook. After the hook, the author's name, the title of the work, a background, then a thesis. Clearly includes a short summary in the introduction and the title and the author. Okay, then I go to the body. The body, paragraphs. Each body should have a main topic. So I will talk about how, girls, be with me. Remember, what are the literary devices Steinbeck used in Grapes of Wrath? What did he use?
Repetition and
Repetition, ascenditone, fragments, opposites. So my thesis statement will be that Steinbeck used, has succeeded in using fragments, metaphors, opposites, and ascend the tone in order to emphasize the theme of the story, the theme that human can be cruel to another, that man can be cruel to another man, or inhumane to another man. And then I start writing my body. So the first body will be for the ascended tone, and I start to mention examples. So in line number this, he used the ascended tone, and I write in the sentences to emphasize the meaning by pausing, by forcing the reader to pause, or to show the importance of consistency together of the comma with omitting conjunction. Okay, and the second body will be for opposites. So I mentioned I used opposites in this and this, and what I say now, girls, is also for the evidence that I will say now. So I mention and I say he used opposites when he said wages went down, prices stayed high. So this is an example of using opposites. Opposites create emphasis to emphasize the meaning that each opposite shows the other meaning. Okay? Then the conclusion should summarize the whole essay, and be aware of the length of conclusion so you do not exceed the length of introduction. Here the introduction includes a short summary. The theories are all good. Most of the body paragraphs have a main topic. So you miss a main topic, so you do not take an excellent, you take a very good one. Here, the introduction, a short summary, the theory, the thesis, but not all of them. Yani, somebody have paragraphs, have ideas. The conclusion almost summarizing, so here it's good. Here, the introduction doesn't include a summary. The thesis is not written well. None of the paragraphs or few have main ideas, so here you do not get the mark. Then I have an evidence. The evidence that I was just talking about, that each paragraph support my thesis. Each paragraph supports one of what I've written in the thesis statement. The body paragraphs can each have 2 or more relevant examples, anecdotes, quotes of the excerpt. Here I get an excellent. Here, when do you get a very good one? When not each paragraph seems to support the thesis, but most of the body paragraphs include 2 relevant, most, not all. Here, when your body paragraphs include fewer than 2 examples, you take a good, not an excellent mark. Here, when your paragraphs do not support the thesis, when your paragraphs do not clearly include evidence, here you do not get the mark. Here, overall cohesion and thoughtfulness. Overall, the essay should communicate your thinking about text and why the issue raised are important. Coherence means that they are related like this. Cohesion is to be one unit. So your essays shows insight into why those examples chosen significant. So if I say example for foreshadowing, so I write that he used foreshadowing this and this and that. And then I smoothly walk. The essay flows smoothly. Yani I don't have bumps, ups and downs. Walk smoothly by transitions, by using transitions between the body paragraphs. And this is how we give you the markers. Okay, thesis, the outline, the organizing, the division, each main topic for each paragraph, the examples and anecdotes in each one, from the excerpt, and transitions. Overall, here you get a very good mark if your essay shows why those examples chosen are significant, but not, yani, it is good. Yani the essay is good, and it flows well, not flows smoothly, flows well. Here, if your essay is choppy, full of unnecessary sentences, each section is separated from the other section, you don't get the whole idea, I'm trying to communicate my thinking about the text, but I fail to address it. So here you get a good mark. Here you don't get the mark if it doesn't demonstrate their thinking, the examples are not enough, and this. Of course, grammar and editing. Less than 3 errors in spelling grammar, you do not lose. From 3 to 6, you lose. More than 6, you lose. So here, girls, if I have 1 mark, because we divide each one is mark. Here I give you 1 mark. Here, 0.75. Here, 0.5. Here I give you 0.25, quarter out of 1 mark. Because here it has 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark, and more. Each section has 1. The MLA citation is when I take quotes, I put it between quotations. I do not just write them like this. Okay? Here is how I evaluate your literary analysis, girls. Are you with me?
Yes.
You left? Or where are you?
We're here.
Okay, there is one. You understand the rubric? Did you like that I'm showing you how we evaluate your writing?
Yes.
Here, I want to show you a video 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, I didn't share the voice. I have to reshare it with you.
Let's break down the literary analysis essay. The literary analysis essay is to analyze or break down some aspect of a work of literature. You might ask yourself something like, how is irony used to create suspense in the text? Or, how does figurative language create the mood of the text? For a literary analysis essay, you might also compare and contrast 2 characters in the text, or examine how the conflicts in the text reveal the theme. Those are just some examples of literary analysis topics and ideas. You can also look at how a text reveals a certain time period in history or a certain culture's beliefs. A literary analysis essay reveals your ability to understand and reveal the deeper meanings of a work of literature. View the example thesis statement below. This essay topic would ask the writer to determine the similarities and differences between 2 characters in Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Notice what the thesis includes. As seen in the example, the thesis statements for a literary analysis essay must include the title, author, and idea of the essay.
Don't forget to write title, author, and idea of the essay, which is a background also about the excerpt.
Read through the example thesis statements below and notice how they all break down some aspect of.
So girls, in The Most Dangerous Game, this is a literary story by Richard Connell. The various types of conflicts within the story work together to create suspense. So here she talked about various types of conflicts within the story together create suspense. And then in each body she will mention a conflict. Okay? Then another one, Great Gatsby. You took Great Gatsby, right? So you can analyze Great Gatsby. Here is a thesis statement. In the Great Gatsby, so she mentioned the name of the excerpt of the novel by Scott Fitzgerald. She mentioned the author. The use of symbolism. So she will talk about symbolism. Reveals the true desires of the various characters. And symbolism, there was the symbolism of a green light, but we didn't mention it, that when he was standing and he is looking at her side of what was her name? Rosie? I forgot her name. Rosie? Daisy. Daisy. He always considered her with the green light and a dream of this. Or the imagery and figurative language of shall I compare thee to a summer's day. We took this poem previous year by William Shakespeare when he was describing and modifying the beauty of his beloved one. Reveals the theme of love. So here is how you write a thesis statement.
Of the text. Also notice that they include the title, author, and main idea that will occur in the essay. Make sure to give evidence to support your claims. Ask yourself what information can you find in the text that shows some aspect of Romeo's and Paris's personalities are similar and different. For example, you can think about how they are similar and different in how they treat others or how they show love. You can also look at how the characters act. It is up to you to find evidence from the text to support your claims. Look at the brainstorm ideas below and notice the different ways you can prove Paris and Romeo are similar and different in the text. Remember that you must include specific cited evidence copied directly from the text. These must be followed by in-text citations. View the example evidence below and notice how they support the claims and include in-text citations. Make sure to keep your tone formal and academic. You want to make sure that you do not use slang or first or second person personal pronouns.
Please be aware of this. Do not talk to the reader. Do not mention yourself.
This means no using I, me, my, we, us, our, etc. This is not a personal response. View the organization for literary analysis essay below. The introduction is the first paragraph. This will introduce your topic for the reader. Make sure to end this introduction paragraph with a thesis statement. The body paragraphs develop your ideas in the thesis, and you end with a conclusion paragraph. Let's review the literary analysis essay. The goal is to break down some aspect of the text to show deep understanding. Make sure that you are familiar with the basic structure. Also, keep your tone formal and rely on specific evidence from the text to support your claims. You are officially ready to analyze.
You understand, girls? You will start your first draft today.
Okay.
Okay, you start your first draft, planning which topic you will talk about, which idea in your copybook. Because next week we'll have the final draft.
Teacher, do you have any samples we can read?
سجل net dear. يعني I didn't bring you samples because they are available online. I prefer to show you how we analyze it, and if you want I can search and upload for you. But يعني search and tell me, okay?
Okay.
Okay? You just pick a topic, one of the excerpts you've taken, and what you want to analyze, and they are already written even in your book. Because what do we do in literature? We analyze how the author gives you the message. We do not analyze what happens inside the story. We do not analyze that he loved Daisy, she didn't love him back. No. We analyze how the author told us. Okay?
Yes.
The way of the author, how he did this. Done, girls?
Done.
Okay. Go and see you tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll take the literature.
Okay, bye, Nurse.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye, guys. Wash your faces.